Christmas gift haul. I'm just kidding. If I ever become that kind of creator, please keep subscribing because I'll obviously be very desperate. You may not know what this is, but I've been wanting this for a very long time. I'm just too frugal and maybe stingy to get it myself. But thankfully, I was able to convince Tyler to get it for me for Christmas. And now I have one. This is a pocket flag that extends to a full-length whip kind of thing. And usually I use a Pirelli carrot stick, which I find quite bulky and heavy and too whip-like for my liking. It just feels very aggressive when you have a stick with a whip at the end of it, or, you know, savvy string or whatever. I like my carrot stick and I like the savvy string because they are multi-purpose, but this feels way more like grab the horse's attention just quick without needing contact. It's very hands-off kind of. And Stella she's had a very big fear of plastic bags for a very long time, and I've tried to do things to desensitize her to it, and I feel like I've just made it worse. So I've been kind of just avoiding it, also hands-off, just letting her experience them without them being forced on her. And I feel like she might have gotten better with it, but she also just doesn't like something plasticky, moving loud coming at her. As long as she can approach it, she's okay with it. But my point is, this is kind of plastic baggy. Like, it's not super plasticky, but it does have a bit of a sound, and it might be kind of spooky to her, so it might desensitize her to it, or it might get her used to more plastic baggy things, and this might not bother her at all. I feel like it'll be a little bit surprising to her at first, but I've been really wanting to try to do more of Warwick Schiller's method of the Cat H approach, and I don't really want to try to describe it because I'm still figuring it out myself, so I don't feel qualified to try to explain it, but I'm just starting to understand it and I want to learn more about it. But I do want to do more like practicing and playing around with Stella and try to take my approach to a more communicative level and less of a you're gonna figure it out my way kind of thing. So I'm hoping with this I can start practicing that kind of thing. I used to like try to attach a plastic bag onto my carrot stick, and that was obviously very difficult to try to use with her and not have her freak out and also be able to stay focused and stuff. So I'm really hoping that this plans out the way I'm hoping it plans out. And it also just, you know, makes a really great fidget stick when it works correctly. Sometimes it gets a little jammed. We're good. And no, I didn't bother to get out of my Christmas ghetto because frankly, I'm in a Christmas hangover. Not literally, but metaphorically, you know. And so yeah, we're just chilling today. I'm gonna go get Stella and see how she likes my new toy. Everybody please welcome Stella. Hold on, she's got burrs. She got burrs. I don't know where she keeps finding these things. We're so good. Now that we got the burrs out of her beard, horse, I want to get her first impression of the flag, but I also don't want to make it like super shocking, surprising. I want to make sure that she's okay with it. I don't want to spook her with it. I don't want her impression of it to be a discipline tool. So let's just see. I want her to go to it. I don't want her to chase with it. That's pretty cool. You like that? Go horsey. You want to see that? Don't eat it. That's not what that's for. So I'll try to explain a little bit of what I'm looking for and what I'm trying to accomplish. And that is, I want to be able to approach her with it, but if she ever gives me the smallest inkling that she doesn't like it, like her head moves away, her ears go back, she's uncomfortable with it, I want to immediately take the pressure away. And it's not actually pressure, but to them it feels like pressure because it's something approaching them that they don't like. So if I'm approaching her with it, and she gives it that side eye, I want to take it away so that she feels like she has control and she can tell me that she doesn't like it. Because if I'm not noticing her facial expressions and her body language that she wants it away from her, then she won't trust that guinea hen You're being awfully rude. Basically, I want her to know that I can see that she's uncomfortable and I will do what I can to make her feel comfortable. I don't want this flag to have any bad emotions with her. Like, she's curious of it, but she's also a little bit scared of it. And if I went at her with it right now, it would freak her out. I'm just letting her check it out, and I'll see if I can approach her with it. But she's also pulling on the rope. Yeah, I don't want you putting pressure on the rope. You wanna come here? If she starts pulling on the line, I want to immediately let her know that that's not okay to pull. Basically, the flag is just to get their attention and to help them focus, and it's just an extension of your arm, and it can take them by surprise, and that's okay sometimes, because when they are pulling away from you and not listening to pressure on their halter or something, you want to be able to have something to back up your lead line, your pressure on their face, something that brings them back to you, so that it makes them focus on you and not, get distracted by other things and start wandering away. They should know that when they hit the end of the rope, they have to turn around and come back to you. They can't just keep pulling away from it. Good girl. Come here. Good girl. I know you're a little scared of it, but you keep wandering away. So we'll just see how this goes for the next 10 minutes and see if, I don't know, just see what happens. I don't really have any expectations or anything that in mind that I hope will happen. Obviously I hope that she can be okay with it and she's not scared of it. My hopeful end result is that she can let me, shake this all over her and be fine with it. But for now, for the session, we're just chilling with it. I've really wanted to get her over her plastic bag fear, but I feel like I've always approached it in the wrong way. And it's one of the things that really made me do a deep dive and research and try to figure out a different method of approaching with desensitization. And it's one of the things that got me into Warwick's drillers, because he had some old videos on how he did it, but those were more of his old methods, and he's gotten a little bit more on the hands-off side now. And I'm just trying to mimic my inner Warwick's driller. I feel like when I work with Stella, because I've trained her and I've worked with her with all of my wacko methods for the last 13 years, that I have kind of this thought process that, I'll try something new with her, but if it's not working, then I'll just go back to my old ways, because that's what works. But it doesn't always, consistency is what works best, and if you only give something a small try and it doesn't work, then it's not a fair try. But I want to try to forget everything that we've learned together and try to fix our problems from step one or whatever, beginning. We have this, funny relationship that we're both a little bit bargy in each other's spaces, but we're okay with it because I like to give her big hugs and kisses and stuff, and she likes to rub her head on me and be a little bit in my space. But I only think it's fair that if I'm in her space, she can come in my space, as long as we're both respectful. She's one of those kind of horses that are like custom trained, because I was learning how to train a horse for the first time when I was training her. So she has quirks, which are perfectly okay, and I like personality and quirks and stuff, but I also want her to not have fear. And so I need to kind of forget some of the things that we've learned in order to get over this fear, if that makes any sense. Basically what I'm trying to say is that it's hard to take a horse that you are super comfortable with and change the way you react and handle them. Because obviously when you take a new horse, you're going to start from the very beginning and figure out all of the problems and work your way up. But when you're with a horse that you're super comfortable with, you want to kind of just have fun with them and not have to go back to the basics, because that's boring, and you can do fun things with them. So you don't really want to have to spend the time doing things that bore you, because you just want to have fun. Want to see it? Great girl. You're silly. Do you like my new Christmas present? Is that a good Christmas present? Sorry, that's not too much. Yes? You just want to eat the stick? Oh, sorry. I can't help what the wind does with it. Obviously, we're gonna have to spend a while working on this and getting used to this. And I'm just gonna have to be okay with that. I need to allow her to get used to it. I'm always giving her a time limit and being like, that took too long, it's taking too long. We can just get over it a different way. And I need to change my mindset. 2025 resolutions. Be more patient with my horses. Don't like that? Good Sally. I'm trying to help her regulate her nervous system and not push her over her limit. I'll pause and come back in a little bit when I've done more work with her, and we'll see what her end result looks like. So I've just been doing this for like 10 minutes with her and shaking it around and stuff, and not too much different than when we started, but that's okay. I feel like we are on the right track though, so if I keep this up and try to do this frequently, then she might not be so scared of it. But I also realized that I don't film a lot of my own training process because I feel like when I have the camera going, I have more pressure to get results at the end. So I am not really training the way I would like to be when I have the camera going. That's why I don't do a lot of filming my own training process. It's also hard to have the camera set up and then be able to train anywhere in the pen with the camera being on a tripod. That's another reason why I don't film my training process a lot. I just thought I would bring you along and show you her first impression of the flag, and this is like the how it started kind of thing. And we'll see by this time next year if we've improved at all. She's been doing a lot of licking and chewing and interacting with me and stuff, which usually when she's out, she's just looking for grass and digging in the snow and stuff and not super interested in me. But I do feel like this has perked her interest and has kept her curiosity more focused on me and the flag and less on her surroundings, so that's kind of cool. I've also realized that this is going to be my last video of 2024, which is crazy. I've got big plans, big hopes, big dreams for 2025 and for improving my YouTube channel and hopefully be able to give you lots of good new content every single week on Sunday at 9 a.m. every single week. People get so mad when my horse rubs on me. She's not making me move my feet or pushing me over or doing it in a mean bargy way, but people just have this expectation of horses need to be super obedient all the time. But I like to be buddies and best friends with my horse, and I don't need them to fear interacting with me. So that's why I let her do it. I also will always constantly post shorts and stuff, so be sure to subscribe and come back next week in 2025, and I will see you guys then. If you have any video ideas or subjects you would like me to cover, let me know down in the comments. You can go follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll see you guys next week, Sunday. Bye!